What do you do when you have to say something? What do you do when you just you got to get it off your chest, you got to bring it up, you got to figure out how do we correct this in our engagement with one another? Doug, are you saying I should never say that? Of course not. Okay, let's go back to my buddy who has the 5 little terrorists for a second. And let's assume that within his marriage, he needs to discuss time management. Okay, 5 little kids under the age of 10, I got to imagine that is a major topic in their house. I have 3 women in my house, and time management is a big deal. Because for guys, when we say we're ready to go, we're ready to go. I'm dressed, I'm ready to go. When the women say, I'm ready to go, it means they're dressed. It doesn't mean they're ready to go. There's this whole face construction project that happens. It's like drying, hanging drywall. You've got spackle and tape and paste and, all that stuff. And so they say 5 more minutes. And what I've realized is when my wife or one of the girls say 5 more minutes, it's like me saying, oh, okay, just one more game. It's just kind of the same thing that guys do, just one more game. Anyway, my buddy, he may have a perfectly valid point that they should have left the house for that wedding earlier. But let's consider his options. Option 1, he makes the snide comment that he did. And then he ticks his wife off for the whole wedding, which now is not a memorable family time, it's a frustration time. Or second, his option is, he's a hero. He doesn't say anything. He senses her frustration and he says, why don't you go ahead, I'll get the boys. But what he does is, he tucks that away and looks for the principal. Okay, track with me. The comment that he said is, I seem to remember one of us wanting to leave earlier. That's the comment. What's the principle? The principle is, we've got to figure out how to help each other get out of the house earlier. That's the principle. So what do you do, guys, with that principle? I think you save those principles, you turn them into an agenda item, just like you might do in the marketplace or in your business. Kathy and I, we have what we call a weekly communications summit. Every week, we have a summit meeting. Now, there are times when it's twice a week based on the pace of the kids. And at that summit meeting, we talk calendar, we talk finances, we talk, here's where I was hurt this week. Here's one of the things I'd like us to work on this week. And we also talk praise, things like, I love it when you. So I'm not just making mental notes when I'm ticked off. I'm also making mental notes when that was great. Okay? Now, I want to say that in the moment. We'll talk about that more in the weeks to come. But you take the principle and you turn it into a communication summit. Okay?
To see more or get answers to other questions you have, check out our Media Vault at everymanministries.com.